Hey guys, Ace is here from NetPlay.com, and I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys today, just because today is actually a milestone day for me and my family, and because today is my dad's 60th birthday, and so it's kind of a big deal, 6 decades, it's a long time, and when things like this kind of happen, when you have these like milestone birthdays, and I had my milestone birthday earlier this year too, because I actually celebrated half of my dad's age. I celebrated my 30th birthday a few months ago, and when milestone birthdays come along, you tend to make them a bit of a bigger deal. You start talking about, or you start reminiscing about, what you've accomplished over the course of the last like 10 years or 20 years. In this case, in my dad's case, the last 60 years, and it's a long time. And I start reflecting about the last 3 decades, and what I remember of my dad's life, and the memories that I have with him and on all that. We have some great memories, but I also have a lot of memories of his lifestyle, and he worked his butt off. He came to this country, he came to Canada, I think about 30 years ago, just a little over 30 years ago, because they came here just before I was born, and with an idea of wanting to give a better life for their family, wanting them to give them all the opportunities that maybe they didn't exactly have. And my dad's worked really hard over the course of the last 30 some odd years here in this country to make sure that we've always had a place to live, and you always had a roof over our heads, and food at the table and everything else. And that meant a few sacrifices for him. I remember him working so many years of overnights, and working super long shifts, and working 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and I think of all these struggles that he's had, and I know there's hundreds, thousands, millions of people out there who are going through the same sort of struggles and things like that. But what is the cost? I think about what's the cost of that sort of lifestyle. You work so many hours, you're tired when you're home, and you don't give yourself the time to enjoy life. And it kind of makes me reflect in terms of, where do I want to be when I turn my dad's age? Where do I want to be when I'm double my age right now? What kind of lifestyle do I want? Because till this day, my dad still works, really long shifts. He works 6 days a week, and at this point he's almost used to it. But that's not really like the lifestyle that I see myself living. 3 decades from now. I don't see myself living that a few years from now. I'm working towards a much bigger vision, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people are missing. When they try to get into business, or when they decide to start online, or whatever the case may be. I think a lot of us don't have that long-term vision. We think of like, okay, what can I do right now to try and get results right now? We're so used to having sort of like instant gratification that we kind of jump into, okay, like if I do this right now, am I gonna what kind of results can I get? And it's not about that. It's like you have to put in the time to be able to build your business. So you have to put in the time to get the results that you want, and to be able to create a long-term business that you can sustain yourself from, and all the rest. And in a few years from now, I see myself being able to enjoy life. I want to be able to not have to work super long shifts, like my dad has, for the last 30 years, to make sure that, he's been able to just make ends meet. And there's been times where even working all those hours and all that stuff, it was hard to even make ends meet. And, and I don't want to have that lifestyle. I don't want to have that stress on my mind when I'm my dad's age. I don't want to have that stress in a few years. So that's why I'm working so hard. This is why I put so many hours and so much time, and I create these videos. And I hope this kind of resonates with you guys as well. You thinking, maybe reflecting on yourself right now, in terms of maybe you're in a similar position, and maybe you're thinking, I don't want to be in this position where I'm at right now. And it's funny because I feel like we as a society, and just like as a cultural thing, where we probably take more time in planning our vacations and trying to escape from this sort of monotonous life that we kind of created for ourselves, that we take more care in planning our vacations and our time off and our weekends than we do our actual lives. And if we want something to change, we have to make a conscious decision to want to change. If we want to be able to live comfortably, if you want to be able to create a better lifestyle for our families, if you want to be able to create that business that you've always dreamed of, if you want to be able to follow your passion, whatever it is that you want to do in life, you have to make a conscious decision that you want to make it happen. And so those are the kind of things that I've just been thinking about, especially today, or when you have a milestone day like today, you're thinking about your family, your future, and what you've accomplished so far. The last 3 decades for me, even though I know some of you guys who may be watching me might be a little bit older, maybe you guys are thinking, oh, you're still a kid or whatever the case may be. But I feel like I had this vision of myself when I was 30, having accomplished so much more than I have so far. And I'm super grateful and I'm super happy for what I have accomplished so far. But I know the next few years, the next 6 months, the next year are going to be huge for me, because the vision that I have of where I want to be, the vision of what I want to accomplish is so clear and so much more motivating to me than I've had for the last 29 years. So I plan that to make this 30th year of my life the biggest that I've ever made it, and I'm committed to that, and think that's kind of the vision that you guys need to have for yourselves as well. Is like, have a vision of where you want to be. I have a vision board in my room where I have pictures of places I want to visit, things that I want to accomplish, and and so all these things are slowly coming to fruition, and all it really takes is for you to make that decision and make constant and consistent effort to make it happen. So guys, before the video drags on for too long, I'll want to cut it there. But if you find yourself in that kind of position, if you find yourself like, I want to be somewhere in a much better position than I am right now, make that conscious effort. Take that action to jump onto whatever it is that you want to do next. And if you're kind of curious in terms of stuff that maybe what I'm doing and things like that, feel free. You can go to my website, netplaymarketing.com, or just simply go to the email that you got this video from, and click on the link and find out what it is that I'm doing. All right, guys. So that's all I have for you guys today. So until next time, guys, let's get out there and have some fun.